Yo, what's going on, Dragon Ballers? Welcome back to another video talking about another ban list. Honestly, as a content creator, this is some of the most exciting content that we get to talk about just because it is really revolutionary to the game. It really just changes up so much, and it makes a giant impact on the game, and I'm super excited about it because if you guys have been following the channel for any real amount of time, you guys know that I really hate this deck. I really hate the Super Shenron deck, and this ban list pretty much addresses it entirely, and neuters the deck essentially, and it's realistically unplayable now, which I'm super happy about. So I figured we just go through this. I've taken some time. It's the next day after the ban list dropped, or I guess the preamble to the ban list. This doesn't actually officially take place until June 1st, or the official announcement is also not until May 24th. So I figured we just go through this announcement from Bandai, talk about it, and I'll give you guys my thoughts. I've had a day to kind of think about it, and yeah, we'll just go through it. So to all Dragon Ball Super card game players and retailers, this announcement will be posted on the official website May 24th. We are informing you in advance. Bandai, I really appreciate that because honestly, people were getting very discouraged, and a lot of people were selling their stuff, this and that, and it wasn't good. The community online, at least, was not good in the face of Super Shenron. Lots of negativity going around, and I'm very grateful that you guys kind of gave us this information early because we really needed it as a community, I think. So changes to the ban, limited errata card list, and policy changes moving forward. Hello everyone, we have two critical announcements for you today. 2 cards added to the ban list and 1 card added to the errata list. Adjustments to the way we time future changes to ban limited errata cards. I think point number 2 is very overlooked right now, but we'll get to that when we get to that. So new banned and errata cards. Based on recent tournament results, it appears that Goku's lineage decks with BT6, 106, Super Dragon Balls, and Super Shenron as their leader card are going to continue dominating the tournament meta, damaging the competitive health of the game. I'm glad you recognize this. It's definitely been apparent over the course of the past, 5 tournaments, all the way from Charlotte Celebration, all the way till the most recent event, ARG Springfield. So I'm glad they recognize that. To weaken these decks and allow others to thrive, we've chosen to ban 2 cards and errata another. So here's where the spice comes in, boys and girls. Here are the details. Added to the ban card list, Bardock the Progenitor and a Child's Wish. So let's read their explanation for these cards, and then I'll kind of give you my opinions on it. So Bardock the Progenitor has been a key card in aggro decks since its release. True. A highly powerful 1-cost card that can quickly whittle down opponents' life totals when paired with Super Shenron, the Almighty, dumping battle cards onto the board and eventually winning the game with extra turns. We realized that even if there were countermeasures, it wouldn't fully address the negative experience of playing against the deck. Banning the card we decided was the only way. So a few things here. I'm glad the way they kind of phrase this paragraph, it shows that they do really understand what's going on in the game, and I have to say I'm really appreciative of the fluent English here, because a lot of stuff that Bandai puts out sometimes, especially their emails and some of the stuff on their website, it's not fluently translated. So I do kind of appreciate, maybe they got a new translator, maybe they got someone else from America to deal with this, I'm not sure, but I really appreciate that. But for another thing, I totally agree with pretty much everything they've said so far. Bardock has been too generically good of a card to continue to live in the Dragon Ball Super card game. I mean, it's been the proponent of aggro, but here's my kind of thing with it. Aggro and Storm specifically wasn't really a problem, wasn't really broken, and it has been broken in the past. It was definitely broken when Harudegarn Storm was a deck, but I'm on record saying that Harudegarn Storm was a problem because it was just 50 good cards in the deck, not because Bardock or Swap was broken. It's a very powerful effect, but nonetheless, the format following that, where it was from Pro Play Tour Atlantic City to ARG Vegas, in my opinion, was a very balanced format. I really like that format a lot, and Storm was very balanced. You had Broly Storm being the predominant aggro deck in the format, but it had a lot of good matchups, like Shenron Gogeta, for example, but it also had a lot of bad matchups, like Vegeta Baby or Pan, or any red deck, essentially. So I thought Storm was in a very balanced state at that point. And then obviously when Super Shenron came around, again, we had that same issue, 50 good cards in the deck, just like Harudegarn Storm, but I do think the Child's Wish was much more of a problem card in the case of Super Shenron than anything in Harudegarn Storm. But backtracking a little bit too much, I do agree that Bardock is too generically good of a card. I kind of wish that they would have just limited it to lineage leaders only. That would have been my ideal change for Bardock, not necessarily banning the card, but this is much better than letting the card stay unbanned and letting the card be a problem, because I do want aggro to exist in this game, and I do think we'll have a lot of good aggressive options. I think that things like Green Broly from the starter deck is going to be a very good aggressive option that's going to not allow certain mid-range decks like Gogeta 7 or Height of Mastery to move forward. I think red decks like Vegeta Baby and Frieza Swap have a chance to be aggressive and competitive. So I don't think aggro is necessarily dead by, you know, Bardock being banned from the game. I just wish that they could have went about it a little bit differently, because it would have breathed a breath of fresh air into like these lineage leaders, right? It would have made Height of Mastery more playable in its actual archetype that was meant to be played in. Assuming Bandai meant for it to be played in that. I'm not sure if Bandai meant for these cards to be super generic or not, but it is what it is. I'm glad it's banned rather than running wild. I kind of wish it was errated, but the ban is okay. I'm okay with this. If you guys notice, I'm going to be a lot more happy about this ban list than the last one we got. And I've actually grown to like the ban list we got last time as well, from the last time I posted that video. So on to Child's Wish. Child's Wish is a defining card for Shenron decks and has seen consistent use. Players can play 3-cost battle cards on turn 2, use Explore Bulma and Shenron Leader skills to reuse energy for free, then recycle a Child's Wish to take incredibly long turns. That's going to be with something like Dragon Radar. Players frequently have to wait for 10 minutes or more for opponents to finish their turns, which feels unfun and unfair from a competitive standpoint. For this reason, we've chosen to ban the card. Yes, Bandai, you pretty much hit the nail right in the head. Your opponent taking a 10-minute turn is super duper unfun, and it's actually incredibly unfair. The extra turn part is just super duper unfair, incredibly over the top for this deck and for the competitive scene. So I'm really glad that you guys kind of acknowledge this. I totally agree. Child's Wish is, in my opinion, the #1 problem card in the format. You know, just being able to tie in together so many decks. You have Dende AOD, which I think is pretty borderline broken. You've got Scuffle Time, which I still haven't seen do anything crazy, but you know, from what I've seen from online gameplay and people talk about the deck, that deck is incredibly broken aggro. And of course, we all know without a shadow of a doubt, Super Shenron is an insanely broken deck. So I'm really happy with this ban. I completely agree with it. Don't think that they could have done anything else. I'm really happy they didn't go the route of change desires to once per turn for a few reasons. Because let's just say you did that and you try to beat around the bush with like maybe it was banned Bulma, maybe it was banned just Super Shenron. The thing is, like, the next time Child's Wish gets broken, right, we would have to sit through a format like this again. Like, let's just say they wanted to get rid of Bulma, right, and not ban Child's Wish. Well, let's just say that from now on they start printing cards when you play from hand or 16k power, and they try and like tiptoe around Child's Wish. Well, the one time that Bandai messes up, which, you know, they're human, they're prone to make mistakes like we all are. The issue is going to then be we're going to sit through another format just like the Super Shenron format. Maybe not as bad, but maybe still pretty bad. Maybe still tier 0. So I'd rather just them not have to walk around eggshells around Child's Wish, and rather them just ban the card straight up. And I'm really, really happy they went with that. And then the thing with desires once per turn, you'd still have crazy decks like the you know, AOD Dende deck, and I actually put a gameplay video out putting desires to once per turn for Super Shenron, and I still took my extra turn on turn 4 and heighted someone to death with 4 height swings. So the deck is still very playable with one Child's Wish. I don't think that would have solved the problem. I'm really glad Bandai kind of put this together. So now let's talk about the errata. So added to the errata card list, Super Shenron / Super Dragon Ball. The current text puts 20 cards back in the deck to do the ulti, and the errata text says choose 30 battle cards from your drop area, then shuffle them to your deck, and if you do, flip this card over at the end of the turn, take another turn after this one. So they changed it. It's now a 10 more card requirement essentially, and it has to be battle cards, cannot be extra cards. So let's read what they had to say about it. Super Shenron's extra turn skill ended up being far easier to activate than we anticipated and far more powerful as a result. There are a lot of ways to quickly dump cards in your drop area to meet the 20 card requirement for the skill. You have a Child's Wish, Explore Bulma, Yamcha 100%, Tainted Power, Spopovich, and Yamu. It's really cool how they kind of are recognizing all these cards are put together. Maybe this shows that they have maybe added some testers to the game, or maybe they're just taking a new approach to design, because, you know, these are a lot of cards that most other people wouldn't even acknowledge work with Super Shenron or would never play with Super Shenron. And maybe they're not the best cards, but they do allow you to get the drop area filled up very fast. So it also makes me kind of curious how they didn't see this beforehand, but that's besides the point. So yeah, the 0-cost extra cards also go straight to your drop, making it very easy to filter through your deck. For this reason, we've made the condition on the extra turn skill harder to meet by raising the 20 card requirement to 30 battle cards. We believe this is necessary to make it harder for players to use extra cards to fill their drop areas and raise the overall difficulty of meeting the skill's activation and condition. I totally agree. These changes will go into effect in the following dates, all regions including France and Italy. I wonder why they had to make that apparent, but effective June 1st. So completely agree. An effect is power. There are some like cardinal rules in TCGs, right, guys? And skipping an opponent's turn is one of those cardinal rules that should never be broken, because it's never fun, it's never fair, it's never interactive, it never leads to balanced gameplay. So if this effect is going to exist, honestly, I wish they would have just banned the leader. But if this effect is going to exist, it should be basically impossible to meet. Like, this is a fine errata for me. I'm totally cool with it. I think it's absolutely worth doing. We're implementing these changes worldwide to ensure championship and preliminary tournaments around the world are on a level playing field. We would like to stress how deeply sorry we are for the sudden notice and for the many players who are currently using these cards. Timing for future changes to ban limited errata cards. This isn't the first time we've announced the temporary banning, limitation, and errata of cards to help create a healthy metagame. However, we worry that the sudden way we've made the announcements may be stressful and confusing to players. As such, a new addition to the ban limited errata card list will line up with the release of future series boosters going forward. We hope this will alleviate any confusion players may have had previously. Here's the schedule we are currently considering. Announce any ban lists prior to the release of a new set basically. Changes go into effect within the release of the new set. Note, emergency changes may go into effect outside of the above schedule. Needless to say, we don't want to add any new cards to the ban list. Everyone on the design team is working tirelessly to ensure the game is balanced on a top priority. I really hope that's the case. The next ban limit card list will arrive prior to set 7. Thank you for your continued support of the Dragon Ball Super card game. And Bandai, this is one of the reasons why I can seriously support you guys, because I really appreciate this information. We desperately needed it as a community in the face of Super Shenron, and I really appreciate it. So the ban list is what I'm saying about the ban list is it's kind of the ban list we needed, right? I'm really happy with the ban list. Don't get me wrong. Bardock and Childish being gone is going to reduce a lot of degenerate stuff that's been going on in the game that we love, but they missed a couple things, and I'll say it, guys, just don't kill me in the comments, please. Gogeta 7 should have been one of the cards banned, just because it's not going to be broken. It's not going to be tier 0. I'm not saying any of that, guys. This is just purely my opinion. I know people hate this opinion, but it's just a card that it basically does. It's not as powerful as Super Shenron wasn't at all, but it's on the same kind of tier where it says, you know, once I get to this card, once it gets to this turn, you lose, essentially is what it says, right? It's almost what Height of Mastery says, but at least, like, now that, you know, Height of Mastery is not skipping your turn, you can go, like, you know, Vegeta Baby, double Revenge Death Ball on the Height of Mastery, right? And that's really powerful. So yeah, Gogeta 7 is one of those cards, right, where I just don't think it should exist for that, basically that reason. It kind of bumps a lot of other slow decks out of the format, but I will 100% say that the format going forward that I see, I mean, we have no tournament results, and I don't want to make any, you know, claims without tournament results, because last time I did that, we had the whole Gogeta 7 mess, but I'm very happy with how the format looks going forward. I have so many decks I want to try out, guys, and I'm really excited to be a content creator in this game right now, because the game just looks like it has opened up crazy wide. And Bandai, thank you again for dealing with a problem that was Super Shenron. We really appreciate it. On behalf of all the players, thank you so much. And thank you guys for watching so much. If you guys like this video, please drop a like on that video. Consider subscribing to the channel, hitting that notification bell so you can stay up to date with all the awesome Dragon Ball Super content that I post here. If you're looking for a Dragon Ball Super community, check out the Discord in the description below. Excellent group of people. And guys, if you're longtime fans of the channel and want to get up on some competitive content, check out the Patreon in the description below. Really helps the channel and really helps you get that competitive edge. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.